All right, how's everybody doing tonight? Woo! All right, thanks for coming out. I was really excited when Colin asked me to host this show. He told me about what a great venue it was. I mean, I kind of thought like there might actually be a spotlight for my face. But you know, you go with what you have, right? Thank you. Do you guys know why dating is so hard for puppets? It's because women are poor. You know, I told Colin we should have got a. Thank you. My mom is here, ladies and gentlemen. No, I was telling Colin we should have got a wireless mic for this. I've lived in New England for 10 years now, and I was really excited because I saw a Fisher cat for the first time. Well, like I think I saw a Fisher cat. It could have just been like a regular drinking. Is everything? Is the sound? Are we good up there with sounds? Okay. All right. We'll keep going. All right. Right. My shoes look amazing, right? It's good. Oh, when I don't say a punchline, the microphone has no problem. That's amazing. That's wonderful. So I was born with only 3/4 of my lower intestines, or as the doctor referred to it as, a semicolon. Are you kidding me? Is this a joke? What's going on here? This is, all right, enough. This is ridiculous. People paid money for this thing. Can we do something here? There we go. Look at that. Look at this. You guys didn't know how pretty I was. So this is pretty nice. All right. It's like things are changing here. So the thing about being a tall person is that wherever you go, people will always ask you to get them things off of shelves. And I was at a bookstore, and there's this really cute little old lady, and she came out to me, and she's like, do you mind getting that book from all the way up there? And I was like, I would love to help you out with that, but we are in the self-help section. And look, we got a little this, and the thing is working. The self-help section is my favorite part of the bookstore. But can we all agree that improving self-esteem for dummies is not the best title for that book? I don't know if you guys know, but tall people are not good at dancing. Like if I dance, it looks like the combination between like a baby giraffe taking his first steps, and then like one of those inflatable guys with like the crazy arms. Like some guys can be like at a club dancing, and a girl might look at him and be like, I think that I want to take that guy home with me. And when they see me dancing, they're like, I think maybe I need to refinance my Subaru. I did find one move though that I can do if I ever find myself on a dance floor. What I do is I just stand in the middle of the floor and I go like this. And I hope drunk girls think I'm the pole. All right, guys, you guys ready to get this show started? Come on, we need more than that. Come on, you guys give us more than that. There we go. Guys, please give it up for your first comedian of the evening, Pam DeButts.
Hey, keep it going for your host. All right, lots of love. Thank you guys. You guys are great. I'm very happy to be here. But before I get started, I just want to answer the question that some of you are thinking. Yes, to Butts. You heard that correctly. And yes, to Butts. That is my real last name. Yeah, the national origin of my last name is not known. I've tried looking it up on those ancestry websites, and I always get the same results. It always says, de Butts, results not found. No country wants to take credit for your shitty last name, Pam. Yeah, so while I don't know exactly where my ancestors come from, I do know that I come from a long line of assholes. Fact. And that's my way of telling you I am from New Jersey. Thank you. Born and raised. Yeah. Thank you. But I'm kind of a mixed breed because half of my family is from New Jersey, but the other half is from the Midwest. So it kind of gives me a split personality, because half of me is just nice and polite and wholesome. Other half, Jersey. Yeah, it's like the things I say most often are please and thank you and hey, go fuck yourself. It's a beautiful thing, Jersey. I have never been married. I've never had kids. I am very happy with that. My mom is not. And she's not. So she is getting a little bit pushy. Thank you. Yeah, but she's getting pushy so much so that now she's just kind of setting me up with guys I don't know. Like she'll see them, track their relationship status, and then notify me when they become single. True. Yeah, last time she called me. She was like, "Oh, Pammy, great news. Mary and son David just broke up with his girlfriend, and they are not getting back together." And I was like, "Okay, Mom, that's great. Just one question. Who the fuck is David?" And she's like, "Oh, well, really happy you asked that. Well, he's your age. Single, and I don't know, I was thinking maybe you two could meet or something." And I was like, "Well, okay, but what does he look like?" She's like, "Oh, what does he look like? Oh, well, he has a good personality, and he's cute." I was like, "He's cute?" Don't believe you, Mom. You asked that. You didn't tell me that. So could you please tell me, is he cute or isn't he? And then she's like, "Well, Pammy, a lot of men have early onset baldness and a few extra pounds, but he has a good job and he makes a lot of money." And I was like, "Mom, I appreciate that, but if I was gonna marry a guy just because he has a lot of money, he needs to be at least 40 years older than me and seconds away from death." Yeah. That's how those arrangements work. So until that time, I'm gonna keep my job in corporate America. So I work in corporate America. The thing that bothers me about working there is that you need to be fake to survive there. And I really wish that I could just cut the crap and be honest. Like when my boss says to me, like, "Wow, Pam, drinking a lot of coffee today, you tired?" I want to look at him and honestly say, "Yes, Bill, I am exhausted. In fact, Bill, you want to know why I'm exhausted? Because I was up all night fighting with you in my mind." "Oh, no, Bill, don't give me that face. Because you know what? Even though it was my dream, you still won the argument." Yes, he did. Because it actually was just like the company meetings. He didn't listen. He spoke over me. And the only thing he gives me credit for are his mistakes. Yeah, so looking forward to having another one of those tonight. Yeah, that's fun. You guys. Many years ago, I lost a bunch of weight. I did, 35 pounds. Thank you. Yeah, but it's, Yeah, but it's hard to keep off the weight, and I don't know if this happens to any of you. Like, I don't know, like you're getting ready to go out, and you're putting on your clothes, trying on your clothes, but then none of your pants will zip up. And that's when you realize that you're gonna have to go to the back of your closet and get out your special pants. These pants, you keep them on reserve for emergency fat days. It's like, you know, the pants, they don't have buttons. They don't have a zipper. It's just an elastic control top band squeezing you right around the midsection. And like, I don't know where guys get their special pants, but I always pick up a pair after I have a good long cry at the dress barn. And you know, when I gain weight, the only one I should be mad at is myself, right? But I like to get mad at my special pants instead, you know, for enabling me. I just look at them and I'm like, oh, special pants. How dare you? How dare you be so kind with all your stretchy fabric and forgiving pant legs? Like, ooh. I mean, how dare you just warmly just suck in this newfound bloat around my midsection? And how dare you just lure me into these false sense of security with all these fat pants, optical illusions that make me think I'm still as thin as I was 3 months ago before I started substituting working out with old episodes of Breaking Bad on Netflix. Special pants. Yeah, so my friend Amy, she told me that when her boyfriend annoys her, what she likes to do is look at their relationship in the big picture to see if that annoyance is worthwhile. And it's really smart, actually. It's a very smart thing. And so I've tried doing it with the guy I'm seeing. And in the big picture, the guy I'm seeing right now is really, really great. He's really great. But in the small picture, he has a tracksuit collection. Now, for those of you who don't know what a tracksuit is, it's also known as a gym suit, Guido suit, matching like pants and a zip-up top, commonly worn by men on Staten Island. Can be seen in really any mafia movie, Italian mafia, Russian mafia, Chinese mafia, any mafia, there's a tracksuit. Yeah, so he has a lot of those in a lot of colors. And I didn't mind as much when he was only wearing them in like private and places where, you know, people couldn't see us. But now he's decided he wants to start wearing them in public when I'm around. Yeah, and so I guess it's just, you guys are getting quiet. I know, tracksuit sympathy is a big thing. But like the thing, I guess he doesn't understand what the problem is with the tracksuits, but there's a lot. But the main one is that when he wears them, he changes into a different person. He gets this like tracksuit ego. Like when he's wearing regular clothes, he just walks. When he puts on a tracksuit, he starts strutting around like an asshole. You know, when he's in regular clothes, he just talks. When he puts on a tracksuit, he suddenly develops an accent, and all of a sudden, he starts talking like this, and suddenly he knows somebody who also might wear a tracksuit. Yeah, no, actually, he's from Vermont, guys. It's one of yours. Yeah, but it's the absolute worst though is when we go to the gym and he has on the tracksuit because suddenly his ego is huge and he's strutting around the weight section pretending like he knows everything, but he's really just making shit up, you know? And like even though he's making shit up, he's really arrogant about it. Now he's like, yeah, Pam, I'm gonna take this 50-pounder dumbbell here. Gonna do a rear deltoid fly row curl, all right? Show you how this is. 1. Ow! All right, I'm gonna put that down now. And you know what? I think I'm done here. You know what? I feel good. I look fucking good. So you know what? you finish your workout and I'll meet you over the smoothie bar. Yeah, but I'll meet you there. I just need a minute. I can't stand up straight. Oh, wow. Oh, guys. Well, on that applause note, that'll be my time for the night. You guys have been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful audience. Thank you so much. I'm Pam DeButts, bringing your host back up. Thank you so much.
All right, guys, one more time for Pam DeButts. One more time for the microphone and lighting. And I was wondering if I'd be blaming Colin all night for that. Let me ask you guys this. Have you guys ever woken up, eaten cake first thing in the morning, and then justified it by thinking, it's somebody's birthday somewhere? We'll talk. I have no words for how bad I am at Scrabble. Please wait and laugh at the very end. Wait till everyone has laughed, and then laugh. You guys ever played chess with an Australian before? Can be very frustrating. Did you say checkmate or checkmate? Whoa. My dad is here too. A lot of comedians don't do board game humor. I feel like I took a pretty big risk. It gets so much worse. So all I can say is that I'm sorry if those jokes did not connect for you. I'm dating this girl, and she's really, I really like her, and she's really superstitious, so I really want to, knock her birthday present out of the park. So I got her a rabbit's foot for good luck. And it was kind of embarrassing, though, because it turned out it was a fake. You know, it was a faux pas. There's more. My grandpa's here, too. I bought some new shampoo, which I love unconditionally. Thank you. And wow, that cut me deep right there. I started a skylight installation company. Sales are going not as well as we hoped. All right, guys, let's bring up your second comedian of the night. You guys are wonderful. Guys, please give it up for Dickie Betts.
How's it going? Yeah, you guys sound fun. This is a beautiful venue. Guys, my name's Dick. It's good to be back in Vermont. I used to live here. I live in Maine now. Mainers say all right. Yeah. People in Maine say I look like I'm from Vermont. They do. They say, you look like Vermont fucked a garden gnome that fought for the Confederacy. Vermonters were much nicer, though. Vermonters would say, you look like Flint, Michigan fucked Noam Chomsky. I'll take that, right? Smart, but dirty. That's not what they meant, though. They meant you look like you haven't showered in 6 months and you stole those glasses from your grandfather. Both of those things are true. Got dressed up for you guys tonight. This is dressed up for Maine, by the way. Maine, dressed up means wearing a flannel shirt with the cum stain on the inside. You can't see it, but it really itches. Oh, man. I got lost on the way here. I did. You could blame your headliner, Colin Doyle, for that. I got lost because he gave me some shitty directions, right? These are all too typical of Vermont, right? He gave me these directions. He said, you go right at the white church. You take a left at the cow farm. You go right at the white church. You're going to veer left at the guy with the tooth staring at the side of a barn. You take a right at the white church. Take a left at the house where all the incest happened. And then you'll see the ski resort, and you'll get lost, because if you follow those directions, they bisect every 2 points within the state of Vermont. And I'm driving, and I'm like, okay, right at the white church, this is vague, okay. Left at the cow farm, right at the white church. Okay, there is a guy staring at the side of he's masturbating. Okay. Right at the white church. How am I going to know the house where all the incest? Oh, yeah, you know the one, right? It's that old colonial thing with the barn attached to it, and the barn's falling over, taking the house with it, like a freeze frame of a cheetah taking down a gazelle. There's an 8x16 camper out front that houses a family of 14 year-round. The fat guy in sweatpants and a wife-beater t-shirt sitting out there in a lawn chair year-round. Looks like Bald Bull from Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and out of his one good walleye, he's watching me, watching him, watching me. It's a fat mongoloid kid in a camouflage onesie playing out on a rusted-out pickup truck that hasn't run since the Carter administration, flirting with his equally diabetic sister, and you're like, yeah? Yeah, that's the house where all the incest happened. Past the ski resort, and then you're there. Oh, man. So, guys, my name's Dick. Obviously, that's not my real name. It's a nickname. It's one of those nicknames that sounds nothing like the base name, you know, like Peggy is to Margaret. You know, any Peggy's here tonight? No, we're a dying breed. Those weird nicknames, right? Like Peggy is to Margaret. Obviously, my parents didn't name me Dick, though. Obviously, Dick is a nickname. Obviously, my parents named me Penis. Tough name to grow up with, you know? I got to high school, I took my parents didn't get married, but I took my father's last name. My mother's last name is Payne, Payne. Nobody wants to live with penis pain. And then, you know, I started going through some identity things, and then I just switched to Dick. That was a joke for the smart people, so... Oh, man, what can I tell you about me? It's been a crazy year. I had a baby since leaving Vermont. Yeah, thank you for the one person. I had a baby. Yes, that is the appropriate response. You guys all sociopaths? Come on. I had a baby. I still have it, by the way. It's a funny thing about babies, right? You say, like, you had a baby. Typically, when you say you had something, it means you were once in possession of it, but now you're not, right? Like, I got a new car this year. I didn't say I had a new car this year. The only time you would say that is if you had a gambling problem or you were on crutches from the accident, right? You say you got a new car. You wouldn't say you got a new baby, though. Unless you sold babies, right? Unless you were trying to lure someone in, like, didn't like your inventory last week, but, you know, you pull open the breast of your trench coat pocket, like, I got some new stuff here. Oh, man, having a baby's awesome. She's in the toddler zone now. She's, like, walking around and grabbing stuff. She has a game that she plays. We like to call it have and take, where she sees something that you have, and she has to take it. And then put it in her mouth, and then give it to the dogs. Right? That's what she does every time. And now that she's mobile, she's seeking out things that we have that she knows where we put them away. She sees the importance of certain things, and she goes after them, like Daddy's checkbook. Put it in her mouth, gave it to the dogs. Mommy's vibrator. Hard to explain that one to house guests, you know? No, we didn't give the dildo to the dogs. No. The baby took it and put it in her mouth and then gave it to the dogs. That's a hard one to back out of, you know? And the one that she really wants, though, is the remote control, the channel changer, you know, because she sees the power that it wields, right? She sees it's a powerful thing. It controls the cartoons and the music. She has to have it, right? She has to have it. But what would happen if she got it? She would start pushing buttons that would have unintended consequences, and then she'd just tantrum. And if she hit the big red button, it'd be lights out. And when I noticed this observation, I started to think, okay, unquenchable thirst for power. Wouldn't know what to do with it. Would push buttons and then have unintended consequences followed by a tantrum. My God. My daughter has what it takes to be president of the United States. Thank you. I'm an awesome dad. I got her a kitten, right? I got her a kitten. I named it Uncle Pete. He looked like an Uncle Pete. He had like dark hair for like a mustache and like a light patch up here, like male pattern baldness. He just had an Uncle Pete vibe about him. And so it stuck. And we started calling him Uncle Pete, and then I had this epiphany that was a bad idea to name a cat. Because a couple years, the cat loves the baby, by the way, and a couple years from now, I'm gonna get a call and I'm gonna have to go down to the school. And I'm going to get in, they're going to say it's an emergency. I'm going to walk through the door, and there's going to be the principal, the counselor, the teacher, and a cop with a notebook. And they're going to say, tell your daddy what you told us. And she said, oh, Uncle Pete sleeps in my bed every night. He knows, he lets him in. Uncle Pete licks my toes, and it tickles. I have Uncle Pete's hair in my mouth because he slept next to my face last night. Don't name your cat Uncle Pete. I'm glad we had a daughter. I'm very glad we had a daughter because my wife and I we didn't know what the gender of the baby was going to be until the birth. And we had agreed on a girl name, but we were very undecided on a boy's name. It was an issue of contention up until the point we got to the hospital. And thank God it was a girl, because my wife is a Caucasian woman from Connecticut, and she was insistent that if we had a boy, we name it Tristan. Tristan is not a masculine name. Tristan, I don't think a Tristan has ever won a fight. You know, I think biologically there's a law of nature that, like, if your name is Tristan, like, your body stops synthesizing protein. You know, like, you never watch Lock Up on TV and see Tristan running the cell block. In fact, I don't think a Tristan has ever left a correctional system with the gag reflex or the ability to fart audibly, you know? I don't think... I'm glad we have a girl. It's an uphill battle for a girl, though, because, you know, there's male privilege in this world. There is. But there's also female privilege, right? There is. I'm gonna challenge you, ma'am, all right? Listen. I walked in, my wife the other day, she was laying in bed in her underwear, just hanging out casually. She's on her phone, she's on Instagram. She's laughing, she's giggling. I said, what are you laughing at, honey? Pause, rewind. Rewind back to when she's pregnant. She's following other pregnant mothers on Instagram and Facebook. It's like a maternal community thing. I get it, right? And now, since some of those kids were born, those kids have social media pages that their parents are doing for them. And my wife follows these kids on Instagram. That's a thing. That is a thing. Fast forward to the present day. I walk in, my wife is in her underwear on the bed. I said, what are you doing, honey? And she goes, oh, I'm just looking at these cute little kids on Instagram. Time out. Flip roles. You walk into the room. I'm laying in bed. In my underwear. What are you doing, sweetie? I'm looking at children on the internet. Guys, my name's Dick. That's my time. Thank you very much. Give it up for your host.
All right, one more time for Dickie B, everybody. Have you guys noticed that like when other comics are up, they get like a cool color on the screen? And then like as soon as I walk in, they're like, we'll just go with white. Let's just have a giant movie screen behind you. That will be fun. Dickie was talking about having a having a girl. I actually also have I have a 6-year-old daughter, and I swear like sometimes I have so much trouble helping her put the Capri Sun. No, that's not how it goes. Helping her put the straw into her Capri Sun. That like I'm amazed I have a daughter. We got it. You don't have to say we got it. That's what's cool about like standing so close. I got to hear my favorite part of the show is when I told a joke if someone did not like so much, and instead of just being quiet or like even booing, they're like, he doesn't have a girlfriend. I'm like, no. Please. It was my daughter's 6th birthday over the weekend, and I never know what to get. I don't know what to get. I don't know what to get a girl for her birthday. So this year I just saw this really cool train set that I liked, so I bought it, and I was so relieved to find out that she actually like really loved this train set. The only thing is like now when you go in her room, it just looks like Barbie moved to the shittiest part of town. Like you know now like you know the convertibles up on Lego blocks. There's a rent by the hour sign on the dream house. And Ken is next door cooking meth on the Easy Bake Oven. I don't know if there's any other single dads in the audience, but I don't have a lot of great parenting advice for you, except that it is, for you single dads out there, if you ever have to buy underwear for a 6-year-old girl, bring her to the store with you. Do you guys notice this now? Like when someone says something really offensive, somebody says, you can't say that anymore, and then they tell you what year it is. And I was like, that's been going on my whole life. I wonder like when that first started. Like, is anyone was like, you can't crucify people anymore. It's 1. Well, we're all guilty of it. We've all done that. We all found ourselves saying that, you know. I was watching the Red Sox game opening day, and I was at a bar in Boston, and one of the players on the Red Sox who is black, he hit a inside the park home run. It's very exciting. He ran all around the bases, and he got home before they could. I don't really know a lot about baseball. Of course, they could prevent him from doing that. And then they show like a close-up of him running in slow motion, and this townie guy next to me goes, "That's looking like he's running like he stole a VCR." I was like, "Hey, buddy, it's 2018. VCR?" Guys, you guys are fantastic. You guys are absolutely wonderful. Guys, let's welcome to the stage the man that we all came here to blame. Guys, please welcome to the stage Mr. Colin Doyle.
Thank you so much, Pomfret. You guys, this is great to be here. It's great to see so many people here. So much to celebrate today. Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, so some of you had some margaritas. It's also Green Up Day. Green Up Day, a little different. It's like we just had Earth Day. That kind of bothers me, Earth Day, you know? There's plenty of things we've given a month towards. You know, March is Women's Month. June is Gay and Lesbian Month. February is, of course, Black History Month. November is Indigenous People Month. As for the planet, we'll give it a day. We'll pollute 364 days a year, but we may green up for a day or two in April and May. See how that goes? I've been in the news a lot. Some of you might know that. Seem to have been in the news a lot recently. I was recently nominated and elected the Constable of Bridgewater. Thank you. Thank you. I was on VPR talking about some issues we're facing in town. For those of you who didn't hear the news segment, it sounded something like this. Our next story brings us to Bridgewater. Bridgewater is known to write a lot of speeding tickets. So many, in fact, they write more than the entire state. I'm here with comedy club owner and newly elected town constable, Colin Doyle. Colin, how do you feel about the police in Bridgewater? Where I make this really great statement. I'm like, I think we got too many cops. Way too many of them. It's like Cop Central. Many people who've been pulled over are for speeding. The speed limit is set at 25 miles an hour. Like, to be fair, that's not really a hard thing to break, isn't it? Not really a hard rule to break. And if you guys don't think it's funny, just imagine Chris Farley wearing a police uniform. It's like all day going like, well, 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 what do we have here? Another person who thought they were just gonna blow through town doing 30 and at 25, huh? Well, license and registration, please, ma'am. God, you don't understand. I was, let me guess, I don't understand. You were just on your way to Killington to check into a hotel, spend a nice weekend with your family. I'm 85 years old. I was on my way to the bake sale at the church. Yeah, I ain't buying it, ma'am. License and registration. I was elected town constable. I know it's a real job because they gave me this, this street police badge. This thing. Although they told me I'm only supposed to arrest dogs with it, but really a technicality. A lot of people think that I'm giving speeding tickets in Bridgewater, which I'm not. If I was, I think it would be only a short time before people started saying, I got pulled over by a guy who looked like he should be in Top Gun. Just like walking up to people's cars going, do you have any idea how fast you were going? You were doing 30 and a 25. Look, I understand you have the need for speed. Woo! It's gonna be $170. A lot of people tell me I look like Robert De Niro. I think it'd be funny pulling people over looking like Robert De Niro, being like, okay, all right, you were doing 30. It's clearly marked 25. Okay. It's gonna be $180. Price just keeps going up. I guess I'll take this off now that you guys know I have it. No big deal. A lot of people tell me I look like a lot of different actors. Recently I was doing a show, someone said Jon Snow. You guys know Jon Snow from Game of Thrones? For those of you who don't know, he's got a long beard, curly hair, not unlike myself. Jon Snow's the real rock star of Game of Thrones, and I think it helps that he literally talks like a rock star, you know? For like 5 seasons, he's just walking around like, I ask you, come with me, my ginger love, north of the wall. Okay. We're gonna go fight White Walkers. I watch a lot of TV. I like History Channel. Anybody watch History Channel? History Channel's fun. I think it's always funny that they get like the worst actors you could possibly imagine to do the voiceover of historic figures. You ever notice that? Be watching the History Channel, be like, then in 1911, Einstein made a remarkable discovery. Like, yes, this was in 1911 that I first discovered the general sign after all. And you're like, I don't think that's what Einstein sounded like. Try to find someone who knew Einstein and be like, what he sounded like? I don't think so. I think Discovery Channel's programming's gone like way downhill. Have you noticed any of their new shows? They're like, this fall on Discovery Channel, boring jobs. Our next story brings us to New Jersey. Meet Frank. Frank pumps gas. Not just any old fuel, folks. No, he's got a plethora of Petra, ranging anywhere from 89 to 91 octane. He's going to be fueling everything from motorcycles to commercial trucks. Cuts to Frank being like, yeah, you know, I pump gas. That's what I do for a living. Give you like a little fun fact, like ding ding, fun fact. New Jersey's legislator deemed it illegal to pump your own gas in 1933 when they said it was too dangerous for the general public. We'll be right back with more boring jobs. Like most of us have these boring jobs. Now we're sitting around watching it on television. Notice that? This week on Tree Detective. Yeah, these trees are dying, and I want to know why. Back to more boring jobs. I like watching movies. Red Sparrow came out. Anybody hear anything about the Red Sparrow film? A few people. I didn't think this was a very positive film for women, you know. It's basically they use women to get intelligence from the enemy, you know, which I think is weird. There's just scenes in it where people are like, I know we want to get the codes. Do we want to hack their phone lines or do we want to break into their computer? Guy's like, I was thinking we'd send the Red Sparrow in to see if we could just seduce it out of them. Seems to have always worked in the past. Bring it in, give that a shot. I like superhero films. Anybody like superhero movies? Black Panther did quite well. Seems like they're just coming up with superheroes at this point, though. You know? Like Ant-Man? Was that a real superhero? And what was that think tank like, you know? I want some creatures that terrify you. Go ahead. The guy's like, I don't like bats. Like, perfect, bats, the Batman. The guy's like, I don't like spiders. Perfect, spiders, the Spider-Man. And the guy's like, I don't like ants. They can lift like 1,000 times their body weight, plus they're known as eco-social creatures, which means they work well in numbers. Kind of terrifying. Get Paul Rudd to do the Ant-Man. Ben Affleck's the Batman. Neither of those guys are like superhero actors, you know? Who were they thinking for the first cast? Like Owen Wilson for Batman? Imagine what that sounded like. Yes, Batman! Perhaps now you'll see a city of Gotham in ashes! Wow. Explosion was huge. Wow. Owen Wilson saving Gotham. Thank you. Thank you. You used to live in New York. Of course, when you say New York, you mean the city, right? Because, you know, where else in New York is there, right? Right. So nice, they named it twice. New York, New York. I think it's fair to say no other city on earth would do that, right? Just expect you to know what you're talking about. They're like, so where are you from? Oh, I'm from Massachusetts. Like, whereabouts? Massachusetts, Massachusetts? Is there anywhere else? I think it's interesting, New York's most iconic building. You know, someone had to design that. It was like, we want a building that's just gonna symbolize New York. Guy's like sitting there like, okay, let me figure this out. What do you think of this? We'll just put that on 34th and 5th. 1,300 feet gonna be big enough for you? Think that'll work? Notice radio commercials sound different when you're in New York versus Vermont. You know, a radio commercial for like a car dealership will sound something like, Mercedes-Benz Manhattan invites you to our summer clearance sale. This summer with a new E-Series Mercedes-Benz, discover how style and luxury can coexist. You ever heard a car commercial in New England? Like, come on down to Claremont Mercedes-Benz. I'll tell you, we got a couple sweet-ass deal for you, folks. Come check out the new E-Series Mercedes where you'll see style and luxury coming together in one sweet-ass package. Claremont Mercedes-Benz. Don't be the only person in Claremont not driving one. I went a different way on that one. Mercedes-Benz Manhattan got John Hamm from Mad Men. Claremont Mercedes-Benz Rusty DeWeese for the last 25 years. Hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, all right? I think about being an old man quite often. When I'm gonna be, not yet, right? So all I think about, what's Grandpa Colin gonna be like? Who is Grandpa Colin gonna be like? I just always imagine I'm gonna be talking to someone named Little Johnny, you know? Because it really only takes one good eye injury and you become an old man. It's like, now Little Johnny, what did I tell you about running around with things in your hand? Because I injured myself in my eye. I got a cornea abrasion. Anybody ever had that, cornea abrasion? Very painful. I sustained that when I was trying to move a potted palm tree. Not a real tough guy way of doing it. That didn't happen. True story. Yeah, I got a cornea abrasion. That's when you literally cut the surface of your eye. It's the third largest cause of blindness in the entire world. First two are politics and religion. Hope we find a cure for that soon. Yeah, it was very painful. So all these different eye specialists. Saw this one doctor. I said, you know, my eye really is sensitive to light. It feels better when I put a patch over it. Would it make sense for me to wear an eye patch? The doctor's like, if you want to wear an eye patch, you can. I said, where could I find one of those? The doctor says verbatim, I'd imagine at any pharmacy or party store. Okay. Like, I guess the next stop's Party City. No, that's what the doctor said. Show up, you're like, do you have anything that doesn't come with a bandana? Or that weird sponge for a 5 o'clock shadow? I don't think either of those are going to be necessary. As an old man, I'm not going to have any antiques to give my grandkids. Not going to have anything for little Johnny. Because I have stuff from both of my grandfathers that are cool and still work, you know? But like someday they're going to be like, hey, Grandpa, what's this? And I'll be like, that was really cool. I believe we had a charger around here for that somewhere. Where the hell that went? I'm not going to be able to give advice as an old man. You know, those old-time sayings that make a lot of sense. You know, the wisdom. Because we speak in, like, acronyms now, right? And, like, emojis, you know? Grandpa Colin's just going to be walking around like, what's the matter, little Johnny? FOMO? Well, YOLO, mofo, get out there. I worry about the literacy of the younger people in this country. Amen, amen. I do. Because I was in LA recently and I saw a billboard for a movie someone spent a lot of money on. And on the billboard was just a picture of an emoji. It was a skull. Then it was the emoji of the pile of poop. And then the letter L. Anybody know what this means? Here. Deadpool, right? Who couldn't read that? And I'm like sitting there thinking, like, my God, like people actually could read this, you know, this nonsense. So you know there's some kid in like a biology class somewhere in this country going like, I got no idea what's in this book. Could we transcribe it to pictures of skulls and little piles of shit? Could we do that, please? I would love to know what you people are talking about. I don't use the emojis. I was never particularly a strong reader either as a kid, myself. I was given a diagnosis with ADHD and dyslexia. I'll never forget the day that they told me I was dyslexic. They said, Mr. Doyle, we believe you're dyslexic. Here's a large book. You can read all about it. Be sure to get right through that. Absolutely. Like a pamphlet with pictures would probably have made more sense. Like, you can't read. How was that? Barbara Bush recently passed away. Very telling of you, Pomfret. Yeah, what about it? No round of applause for the silver fox, huh? Barbara's, one of her biggest claims to fame was actually working for literacy. Unfortunately, she didn't spend enough time doing that in the house, huh? Ooh. I mean, it's kind of true, right? She kind of had for like 8 years going like, I gotta tell you right now, okay, I'm the decider, and if I decide on using nuclear weapons, that's what we're gonna do. Owe it all to the silver fox. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Try not to watch a lot of politics or the news. Donald Trump. I don't know if you've noticed, every time I see Donald Trump on television, I think he has a very specific goal. And that is to make Bernie Sanders have a heart attack. I'm pretty certain of this. He just comes on television, he's like, look, I gotta tell you, and I mean this, nobody knew how unbelievably complex the healthcare system is. Nobody knew. Nobody had a clue. Nobody. Nobody knew. You know, just somewhere in Vermont, Bernie Sanders like, let me get this straight. Okay, let me get this straight. Nobody knew how unbelievably complex the healthcare system is. Okay. Newsflash, Donald. Some of us who spent 8 years on the Senate floor with the insurance company, some of us had a little bit of an idea of how unbelievably complex the healthcare system is. It appears Senator Sanders has a heart attack on the Senate floor. Oh, he's back. He's back. There's a minor heart attack. I noticed a lot of bizarre commercial products. Really bizarre product. Recently, I've noticed what's become popular is the scented candle, the tobacco, warm tobacco. You guys seen this? Who's home decor? A couple people nodding. Warm tobacco. Warm tobacco. It's like, am I missing something? Because I've always thought tobacco smelled like shit. Maybe I don't have Grandpa Colin's old warm pipe tobacco to remind me of, the nostalgic feeling, you know? Because someone had to think of this, you know? Again, some type of think tank. People come into the office and they're like, I know we've needed some new scents. Wouldn't it be nice if you could have the worst aspects of smoking without the nicotine buzz? Warm tobacco candle. think that's going to be beautiful. People are just going into people's homes like, Frank, I don't know what you've been doing, but it smells terrible in here. You've been sitting around chain smoking? That is lovely. Another interesting product I saw, the KFC came up with it, the edible coffee cup. The edible coffee cup. Read that online. Here's the joke. It's the same coffee cup they've always had. Pretty soon they're going to have the edible bucket of chicken. Are you kidding me? You don't eat the bucket? That's the best part. That's where all the grease is. Frito-Lay had a really good product that they came up with. It was the soy-based chip bag. You guys remember that? The soy-based chip bag. It got discontinued from markets because, and quote, consumers didn't like the sound the plastic made when it crinkled. Didn't like that sustainable soy-based sound. I mean, how am I going to explain that one to little Johnny, you know? Grandpa, I don't understand. You had the technology to save the planet, but you just kept polluting and polluting and polluting. Like, slow down there, little Johnny, okay? If you had heard the sound that shit made when it crinkled, it was obnoxious. And I'll have you know another thing, you little brat. We had an Earth Day. So you can't say we didn't do anything. Thank you guys so much. I'm Colin Doyle. This has been a really fun evening. Thank you for coming out. Please give another round of applause for all the performers you saw tonight. Dickie B, Pamela DeButz, Brian Munzer. I'm Colin Doyle. If you didn't have fun tonight, you can just blame me. Thank you guys.